Composite number 2, do they wish to use that time? Don't wish to use it. Turnour Branch, Dublin South Central, proposing motion number 120. Have we a proposer? Sorry, I skipped 119. Skibbereen Branch, Cork Southwest. Have we a proposer?
Councillor Aidan Pendlebury, Clonakilty Branch, proposing motion 119. Delegates and fellow members of the Labour Party, we are gathered here at a conference to develop and recommend policies that bring our country back from being run like a gung-ho business of blind greed and personal aggrandisement, and through constructive, people-centred and community-centred policies, return to a society of equality, fairness and opportunity for all its citizens. The McCarthy Report, and in this case its recommendations in regard to the backbone of the Irish justice system on Gardaí Síochána, is a lurid example of how this government seeks the solution to our national economic problem from the exact same thinking that caused it, by treating the country of Ireland as a business and not as a society. One of the defining strengths of our country, in good times and even more so in challenging times, has been a strong sense of community and an empathy with fellow members of that community. Ireland Inc., as our Celtic Tiger gurus like to call our country, never was and never will be simply a business and cannot be treated as such. Yet the McCarthy Report recommends the closure of half the Garda stations in this country, which is roughly 330 stations, to save €1 million. To save €1 million, the McCarthy Report will remove Gardaí from rural communities. Rural communities that even during the good times were treated with government indifference. Rural communities that are now being asked to pay for the ineptitude of that same government. Rural communities are now being asked to surrender the safe community in which they live, Garda presence on the streets of their towns and villages, and peace of mind in their own homes. The town of Skibbereen is symptomatic of the disregard of the present government for rural Ireland. Even before the slash and burn recommendations of McCarthy are implemented, Skibbereen, with its population of 2,500 people, has at its present a Garda station that only opens for 3 hours per day. And this situation is replicated right across rural Ireland. To save €1 million, the McCarthy Report will further increase the vast rural/urban imbalance in the availability of and accessibility to public services, and with regard to the Gardaí Síochána, not just any public service, but one which will provide the rural population one of their basic human rights, the right to live in a safe and secure environment. All citizens of this country, young or old, rural or urban dwellers, are entitled to the same level of Gardaí services, whether they live in Dublin or Dunmanway, Galway or Glengariff, Sligo or Skibbereen. This idea of centralisation of policing services is not a new one, and in fact was adopted in the United Kingdom many years ago. However, such was the failure of the system that it is now government policy to return police back into rural communities, as they have become out of touch, anonymous and most detrimentally ineffective. If we are to accept, without question, the recommendations of the McCarthy Report and centralise our policing, we are further elaborating on and compounding the consistent policy of inequality of this Fianna Fáil government. So let's stand together, Lech Héile, as this conference exhorts us to do. Thus, I recommend to you motion 119 for your support. Thank you.